everybody, welcome to another live stream. We are back again. And I had quite some emails about people. Are you at the NAMM show? No, I'm not at the NAMM show. I think the last time I did the NAMM show was 2017. And it was very noisy there. I had really troubles in demoing. So I thought, yeah, after I discovered that a live stream works well, is that with the live stream, I reach far more people than on the NAMM show. Of course, if you create hardware, you need to show the hardware to all the possible resellers worldwide. But if you're doing software, everybody can download the demo version, watch the videos, watch the live stream. So, of course, it has a nice vibe. A NAMM show is very nice. Of course, the climate is then very pleasant in California. Everybody, welcome. Working on new presets. This is a very nice one. This combines the string model with the valve, which is a kind of plug I did, which is, I think the valve is more a tube sound in a different way. And you see, it uses the pattern. The pattern is playing A, then it plays B, no, A again, 3 times A, and then 4 gets a variation. And combines nicely with the, if you have a groove. I use the pitch band to make the sound shorter. Modulation wheel is to the FX2 mix, which is the delay. Maybe I could make that one a little more deeper. So I go modulation wheel again and also make the feedback also go a little bit up. So here, this is a little mod matrix for the effects. So now modulation wheel is closed. And he makes the sound shorter with the pitch band. You see in the upper corner, let's see if you can see my keyboard. It's maybe a little bit too small. I can change that. In the upper left screen for you can see the pitch wheel and the modulation wheel, and that's I'm using in this preset. So we hope to have this SubBoomBass-2 ready next week with some new presets. And of course, there's so much in this machine. What I also did, for instance, is doing some drop sounds. So if you go to instrument and SFX, there are some sound effects drops, different ones, and I call them slow because essentially they're pretty slow. But you can increase the speed by opening the modulation wheel. So, if you have good speakers, you will hear goes down. So, FX sounds. This is a tuned tabla, but I combine it with a sinus waveform below it. And I see some people popping up. Everybody, good evening. Pascal already has a question. Last week in the modulation presets in Go to X, I have seen different that it's not a sequencer, modulated preset. Yeah, I'm not really, yeah, you can use the arpeggiator as a modulator. So maybe that's what Pascal means. There are different modes. Yeah, this one goes very. I'm not sure if you're playing it on your studio monitors. very... But of course, also new basses. So these are the... This is the pole I sampled, a metal pole. So these are cool for particular sound effects in maybe movies, maybe your track or whatever, and in a game, you could use it as an FX. So there are new of these ones are inside of it. And there are some very weird sounds, this water animal. Using, you have a water sample, using grains. Okay, now I messed up. So we have, once you select one of the normal waveforms, you have grains. So that's a granular FX on these samples. Keep in mind that you have inside SubBoomBass-2 the traditional analog modeled waveforms, which are computer-generated waveforms. So these are not samples like sinus or triangle. Then you got spectrum waves, which are created by using a analyzed waveform. So for instance, you also can see Jupiter 8 saw and Jupiter 8 square inside of it here. Then we have the string model, which is separate synthesis. And then you got all these samples. And the samples you can do. So if you select here a normal waveform, you don't see here the granular, you see semi, fine-tuned, pulse width modulation. But if you go to a sample, let's see, then you see that it changes the layout. So you can put on grains. Attack on the grain. Okay, it's still this one. So you can make some very weird sounds using the granulars. Almost like speaking, isn't it? And originally it's this sample, water. So let's go down. Strange, isn't it? So there's some very weird sounds in it. Taiko, we can play polyphonic or tuned. Deep voice, let's see. So it's also very cool, some very cool sound effects. There's also a drop. Some new bass presets. Bass preset bank 6 is full now. And if you would download next week the new SubBoomBass-2 and you would go to the bank manager, you click, order by date, you get all the new ones. I made also some very cheesy analog type style basses with different filter types. A little bit edgy. Okay, that's a normal one. That one was before already, so I need to keep it here in mind. So I'm playing them now from the bank manager, because then I can show you the new ones. Oh, that resonance is a little bit risky. So maybe I should down a little bit of resonance here on this movement. Most likely also on this one. That's very dirty, but also more clean. And this one is bait. Oh, that's one. Clickbait. Okay, clickbait. You know what clickbait is on social media? You have clickbait. You know, you have a kind of weird story where everybody clicks on it. The click is in the sample. Dark knocker. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm still having again a stupid cold. So let me see. This one is really cheesy because I don't use any FX, so everything is dry. I really need to be careful with the Q on the XY because it goes really heavy and so it's a bit cheesy, but also type stuff. Yeah, goes deep. You hear that? Nice low end. Or DX. Maybe you might think this one uses a kind of sample, but no. Uses FM, which is essentially in SubBoomBass-2 also phase modulation. So oscillator 1 modulates oscillator 2, doesn't go to the filter, that's shut down. And then it does this. So it's a sinus wave. Got a really punchy sound, and the envelope, which is on the volume of oscillator 1, that's down here. Got really punchy sounds. That one's also nasty resonance. Hear that? And also here, this one has a little bit of chorus, but I bring down and then save again the preset because I think the XY, because some of the resonance can be really loud. Really loud. So let me check the chat room. I'm playing some of the new presets in the SubBoomBass-2 we're working on. We have that hopefully next week. Some new sequence presets, some sound effects, some new basses. Yeah, somebody mentioned the CF30 last week. Yeah, that was cool. I think I had the idea, but I could not find the time today to prepare because what I want to do is place the CF30 in front of me. You see my hands in the left corner in front of me and then simply play around. But that's what I need to do then is having the CF30 also with the option to have a little bit delay on it, reverb on it, because dry, it's very dry, of course. It's really nice. And you see, with some of the basses, I don't use any FX. This uses plug. the string model. Only for the accent, which if I play soft, very upper tone thing, but it's on top of the pick bass. So the pick bass. I hear my keyboard. I've shut down my keyboard. You see, it gives really a lot of dynamic to the sound. So it's a pick bass, which is a sample, but by using the string mode, you really add the dynamic things to it. So if I play soft or loud, you really hear a difference. You hear that? You're really making it alive. So the string model, as its own, has its. So this is one of the new presets. What I always need to check then on the mixer is how the volume is. Can I hear a little bit louder as a preset? So let me. That's better. And then sometimes from one preset is also a good starting point, because you also could say, okay, what happens if I have this? Hey, this is the string model only with the sub-oscillator, because that's cool. In SubBoomBass-2, if you have a sample like the pick bass, you still can use the sub-oscillator. So if I go to another sample, let me simply take, for instance, oh no, this one. It's a snare. I can use below the snare. Still, the sub-oscillator, isn't that crazy? These, by the way, are very nice sounds for typical techno stuff, because if you put some reverb on it, sometimes these easy sounds do work very well. But I was here with the string. So put it on again. That's nice. Too low. Nice bass also, this one, so I should keep this one. Oh, I see some weird stuff here. I need to remove that. So it's sometimes cleaning up a preset. If you're creating presets, you need to be careful with the resonance here. But in this area, it's a nice bass, so I should store this one as well. So I keep that as it is, so maybe then better. Really a lot of expression in this bass. Yeah, I would keep it like this. Okay, let me save this because I think it's nice. Save preset as. So that the story behind it is essentially you don't have to do always a lot of things to get from one sound into another sound. I simply very often pick a sound and I hear different things, it tries different things, and suddenly it fits. And if it fits, then it's good. Excuse me. So this is really a nice, useful sound. Oh, I see here Berlin waiting bass. It's more an SH 101 bass. I'm not sure why I put it here inside of it. Berlin waiting bass. I should give it a different name, of course, rename, because everything has this prefix inside. Berlin waiting. Okay, so that's the name for it. Okay, renamed. These are all the ones, I think. Deep house. Yeah. Okay, let me see the chat room. Oh yeah, MPE is of course SubBoomBass doesn't have MPE because most sounds are monophonic. It's a bass synth. But for instance, the let's take another one. Good question. Blue 3 has now also multi-polyphonic expression, and because of this, we added also for you guys who have these keyboards. Let's see if I can find something. That's an old string. Here I can now select poly multi expression, and then I can lock this. So I don't have to go to a different, again, to the play mode, because now, and therefore it's blinking, I go to the next preset, and even if the original one was a sequencer sound or whatever, it goes to the... What you have to keep in mind, of course, with polyphonic multi-expression is that on the back panel, you need to have that the MIDI input is omni, and that, of course, in the tracking settings, if you would go here to, for instance, a Cubase, then you need, instead of MIDI channel 1, you need to use any, because the multi-polyphonic expression gives to each note its own MIDI channel. So that you need to select there any, so that any MIDI channel is passed on to Blue 3. So that's important to know with multi-polyphonic expression, but that's what we did with Blue 3. We have this lock mode if you're using one of the multi-polyphonic expression keyboards. Pizzicato. Yeah, all of them have their own. And by the way, yeah, I mean, Blue 3 for basses, it has some very good typical FM basses. Really hits you straight in the face because of the FM synthesis. It's cool for doing punchy sounds. So you will find a lot. Blue 3 offers, it's endless. And of course, SubBoomBass-2 is more focused on bass and the sequence stuff. But you do, of course, other things with it. I mean, the sequencer inside, I had one very nice preset, which is, let me show you again. Okay, sequence presets. There are some new ones. In this Bank 4, that one I played already. No. No, that's not the one. Which was it again? No. Yeah, this one. It's very strange, and the sequence, and that's what you also can do if you have a preset in SubBoomBass-2 or whatever, maybe in Go2X, in Blue 3, whatever. Tweak it, because sometimes the melodies are maybe a bit too much over the top. If you would take a basic thing and you think, okay, I should make it a bit different in type. Okay, so this one uses pattern. And if you say, okay, I want to have a very monophonic, you only take one and you mute stuff. A very strange sound, but sometimes these sounds work very nice in music. Or you say, okay, I don't want to use the sequence, and then you go to the play mode, it shows here sequence, and you say, I play it myself. It was polyphonic. So that's possible. So do things yourself. It's always what I tell people. Sometimes it's shutting one oscillator or simply adding one oscillator, or in case of SubBoomBass-2, if you have this preset. Okay, let's go back to the original. Pick another waveform. So here you can go minus. And maybe this sound works in your track. Then you think, oh yeah, that's cool, guys. Let's finish it. I would say, okay, let me take sequence A. So this one is also, again, a very nice sound. So what I would do now is, because I like this too much, I use a snare for making this melody. So I would say I go to command, because now I have sequence A, which is this one. Okay, I go to the command and say copy sequence 2, and then you see this little menu, and you need, of course, 2 is B. I copy it to B, and B plays then now the same. I select B and also select play mode B. Then you could say, first play A and B. So A is this. And B is this. So I would say play this in pattern, and then you can here mix the pattern. You could say play A first and then B. And then you have a combination. Now this one uses a delay, which is maybe a bit too much. Now I have a mono delay. And this one may be nice if I put here a little room. So I'm just playing around. So with the options you have. And what is always wise is to use it in the music and see how it fits. Let's see if it's tuned. Okay, then I hear again another sound. So, but I need to save this one because this one is cool. And you see some of these settings are already nice. So what I also could do, go to the modulation matrix, use the high pass filter a little bit more. It's already... So that's a cool thing to do. So I need to save this one. Save preset as. I call this the snare stranger. The snare stranger one. And then I heard another one, which is cool, to use the sub slit. I make them a little bit different on the B, pattern B. Uses glide, can use. Okay, let's see how this one works with the pattern. So a little bit different than the other one, huh? Yeah, this is version 2. So sometimes you see I make little variations, which also makes sense because sometimes it well could be that one preset is close to it, but then you think, okay, I have this one. Oh, I like this one better. Or somebody else would say, no, this one is better for the track. But that's also, of course, what you can do. You can put an extra oscillator. Yeah, and you see sometimes I run very fast in a very nice variation of the sounds, which also has a musical meaning. How do you save your preset in your user folder? Well, essentially, if you have a bank manager, that's a good question by Foggy. You have SubBoomBass here. What I would suggest is that you create a folder with your own bank. You see here 01, Rob Bank 01. So in the bank manager, click here, up here, manager, and click here, new. Then you can create a new bank. So I can do it for now. I can say new bank, and I would say, for instance, I would advise to keep all your pieces on top, 01. And in your case, it will be Foggy Bank 01. Okay, and then it appears here. You see Foggy Bass 1? And then, for instance, if you say, okay, I'm working on a track, and I made this sound, or you did edit, you did some changes, and you think, okay, I want to use that in my other song. Then what you do, you go in the upper screen, and then you go in the preset menu, then save preset in folder. Then you need to browse. It's a little bit tricky to browse, of course, in the little screen. And you go to your Foggy Bank. Here you select the Foggy Bank 1. Okay. And what is important is to save it with your own name. So I would say Foggy Me. And then you have saved it. So then if you go to the bank, you see you have introduction bank where all kind of presets in, and then you have your Foggy Bank yourself. This, what I'm just showing you, is for all our instruments. So if you have Blue 3, Predator, Go to X, Quad, Vecto, you name it, go to the bank manager, and the best way to work with this. So it's also in the other instruments. And then, of course, once you're ready, it's wise to regularly update your preset banks. Oh, this is, by the way, the back panel. Here you have some additional features. We have the standard warning here. And here we had also a quality check by Dr. Lowend. Nobody knows who he is, but he did approve SubBoomBass-2. So yeah, then the other thing is, of course, what I mentioned is that you need to save it. So if you would be on a Papen, you see Papen here, and you see the documents, Papen, or applications for Papen on your Mac, and then you have SubBoomBass. Where is this baby? SubBoomBass-2, and then you have the bank folder, and this one you need to back up then with your own preset. Put it on a USB stick. Next time, yeah, back it up. Okay, so back it up on a USB stick or maybe on a different folder. What I use on my own computer, I have a second hard disk or even a third one, which I call updates and install, where I put all my stuff. So sometimes a text file with the serial number of a product or the latest download from, let's say, what I use Camtasia for creating tutorials or any other software. So I have everything in a separate hard disk called updates and install, where I put all my products which I own with a little text file with information. For instance, the login to go to this homepage and all these things. Of course, you need to keep it safe forever for other people, but that's a little trick you can do. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. So sub presets. I had also new sub presets. Where are they? I was a very nice. This is a sub. Very nice sub. Very deep. And if you have a beat, so this, each time I have the same beat, so but okay. And of course, SubBoomBass is famous for being in your mix very well. This one is a bit more brighter, still very deep. But has so many presets inside this beast. Or even psytrance. So lately type of bass. Different types. Sometimes they're very dry. Yeah, they use often also a sidechain for that thing. So if the kick is continuously and the bass plays, the sidechain kicks in. So hopefully next week we will have these new presets for you for SubBoomBass-2. Maybe I can find some other ones, new ones created. I mentioned earlier the drops, which the sound effects, where this Tom is also tuned, Tom 4. It's not a person, it's not Tom number 4, but it's of course a floor tom. Can play it. And this one I use with a sub oscillator. So if I shut down, you're only the tom. And with all these presets, if you open the mod wheel, makes it shorter. So I made quite some combinations which are interesting in my orchestral bass drum. That's also very deep. Ooh. This is the Rob box. You know what the Rob box was? Sometimes I did a picture of it. The Rob box was a big wooden box. Essentially what people use in their garden, a wooden box where they put plants in it. And I took a very long metal stick, did connected to it and hit the metal stick. And that became the Rob box. So you see, it's very nice as a kind of good attack sound. Oy, oy. So SubBoomBass-2 has some very nice sound effect sounds in the instrument and SFX01 bank. Most new presets are in the bass presets, where I played also a few ones. I'm not sure of these. No, these are older ones. I always like the Uno sounds. And if you would have the Uno, you have the really heavy resonance. You hear this, I need to save this one also, the movement, which is pulse width modulation. So essentially this is a saw square combination waveform with the sub-oscillator, but the symmetry is modulated. Yeah, what I could do, by the way, I played last week this the CS30 where two filters were combined. I could try that with this sound. So I shut down, then make it dry. Because there we use the combination of normal filter and this one, you see, filter pass is serial, so I can use the second filter. And the second filter on the CS30 was a bandpass 12 dB. I take this one. But they were in parallel. Yeah, that's what CS30 was parallel. So filter 1 and filter 2 goes to the output. Then you get a combination. Okay, then I don't have volume control. So let me see how I can trick that. I can trick that by using this one because it was the second oscillator. Also use, oh, sorry. Oh, that's dirty. So oscillator 2 goes split. And then we have the first oscillator. Okay, and then I change the cutoff frequency. So I need to address the cutoff frequency. Okay, I shut it down in filter 1, but I need to address the cutoff frequency to the modulation wheel of filter 2 to do the same thing what I did last week. So I pick here the modulation wheel, destination, filter 2, cutoff frequency. Then you have this type of get this type of effect. So I'm just tweaking it a little. So what I'm doing is essentially oscillator 1 goes into filter 1 by using the split, and oscillator 2 goes in the filter 2, which is here a small section which uses the 12 dB bandpass. And then you combine them together. Maybe I should have it. No, I'm just tweaking. Then you got this weird thing on top of it. Of course, it should not be the same volume. A little bit down. And here you need to find the sweet spot. Yeah. And then, of course, you add a little bit of juice. Stereo delay. Same for the yeah, another cool sound. So I should save this one. Let's see if my volume is right. It's not bad. So I go a little bit down with the filter 2. And you got this typical sound, isn't it? Yeah, cool. So let's call this CS30 bass. Of course, this is in bank. This goes to bank 7 because this bank is full. We keep all the banks 128. Otherwise, the overview is a little bit gone. So I save preset in folder. And I go down here to the bass presets folder 7, which will be a new one. I call this one bass CS30 Inspire. Okay, so we'll find it next week. You will find it. Okay, I'm checking out the chat room. Oh, Pascal, you went in Bochum, School of Audio Engineering. Yeah, we played the 30th of December. We played in Bochum in the planetarium. So, Pascal, if you've never been in Bochum in the planetarium, they have some great programs. You need to check it out. It's really cool to have all the beamer stuff on the ceiling. So, yeah, you see, from one I went into the other. We had already played some of the sequence preset, I think the new ones. These are here. Order by date, that's the easy way. We had this weird tabla spring. It's really a techno sound. was the... Yeah, there's so it's so much inside of it. So hopefully, so I'm still working also tomorrow on new presets, fine-tune things. And as mentioned in the bass preset, sometimes I really go really dry, because that's which in a track, also dry presets can work. So for instance, this one doesn't have any chorus, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. You should try it, because in the mix, if you put on the chorus, it's a whole different feeling. Looks than maybe, or sounds than maybe if you play it solo, cool, but in the mix, the simply dry bass could do maybe more its work. It's really depending on how the other instruments are around it. So sometimes a mono bass works very nice and makes then the sounds which are stereo even more stereo, because you have mono and stereo, so the contrast. Oh, okay. Yeah. Only weekend course. Yeah, okay. I'm just reading the chat room. Maybe I missed something, so I can scroll up. Yeah, if you do your own presets, it's wise to keep them separate, definitely. What sometimes happens, people added a sound and then and maybe do edit it and then even press save, and then it overrides the factory patches. But the next time you run and install it, it overrides again the factory patches. So if you want to avoid that it does override, always give it a different name, because then it always is a separate file on your computer. Or go to what I did, create in the manager your own bank, like I did the Foggy Bank one, where Foggy did ask about what to do. And this you can do in all our plugins in the bank manager. That's the best way to do it. And you see, I also did it because I have a rock bank myself here, where the chase sequence, which was done by Cat. I did throw him inside here. So some Cat Brimes presets are here. But there should be also... Oh yeah, Berlin is waiting. Here's from my album. We did at a live stream, creating a Berlin electronic music style of track, and it went in such a good way that it even became a track on my last album. And you see here I used the stereo delay, but very short. Instead of having this one, I made the feedback shorter to have this effects in it. And it's simply the sequencer, and it's simply one note. So it doesn't have to be always a very complex sound, of course. So that's what many months ago, we did a few live streams in creating this Berlin style of music, and that ended, excuse me, ended up in a track fully done. And maybe it's a good idea that I end today the live stream with the with this track, which is what you can hear then is the SubBoomBass-2 bass, and the rest is a lot of Predator 2, Bit 2. Yeah, so let's play it from the video clip, and let's go out. This time, not by demo or cool song by an end user, by simply a Berlin School of Music track by myself. So thanks for watching, guys. We hope to see you or I hope to see you, or you hope to see each other again in the chat room next week, Thursday. Then it's again February, and of course, hopefully, is then the new bank is then released for SubBoomBass-2, and you can enjoy some new goodies. So let me see if I can make it the case that we. So I play now YouTube and upstream YouTube. That's interesting, isn't it? So give me 1 second for arranging this. Is it maybe wise that I play it from the video? That's maybe even better. So give me 1 second. I'm fiddling around. Camtasia, music. Okay, that goes fast here. Here it comes. Berlin is waiting. Enjoy it and see you next week, guys.